What it do, bedtime crew? Hey man, listen, today I am here with a very controversial opinion. Be prepared, be buckled in. You might want to sit down because I think Merab is going to beat Petr Yan at UFC 323. I know that that's controversial. I know that, literally nobody else will tell you, nobody else is picking minus 485 Merab to beat Petr Yan, but I just can't ignore this gut feeling that I have that Merab is going to beat Petr Yan. But listen, all jokes aside, I think most people can agree with me on the idea that Merab is going to beat Petr Yan. But today I want to break down the fight. I want to talk about how I think it's going to play out. And I want to talk about why I think Merab will finish Petr Yan. I do not think this will be close. I do not think this will be like a fucking war back and forth. I think Merab is going to break that record with 4 title defenses in a year. And I think he's going to show the improvements that he's made since he last fought Petr Yan in this fight. And I think that he has a lot of finishing potential in this matchup, especially in the grappling. But first thing to talk about, obviously, is the striking between these two. Petr Yan has a big advantage on the feet in terms of his pure ability, like on the feet. Like, he's so skillful, such a good boxer, good defense, hard to hit. Very good takedown defense as well. We'll talk about that soon. Really good at switching stances. I do think that Merab has shown an improvement as a striker. I think that in the first fight, when you rewatch it, obviously the takedown threat opens up striking from Merab, but he's landing his right hand. He's landing really good step-in elbows as well against Petr Yan, landing good kicks as well because of the high guard of Yan. And one thing that Yan does as well is he frames out when he's moving back, and that does set up the overhand right for Merab. So I think that that will be a factor here. Merab blitzes really well, ducks his head. Obviously, you're going to be worried about the takedown when he does that, and he sets up overhands. He sets up good combinations on the feet. We saw him land the fucking blockhead blitz of the century against Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen was literally backing up. Actually, you're supposed to have your left hand up. Boom! Fucking rocked on the back foot with that blockhead blitz. And I also saw in that first fight, upon rewatching it, that Merab had a really good calf kick in that fight. He was forcing Yan to kind of stay in one stance as opposed to switching stances. We always talk, listen, dude, we talk about the fucking X's and O's. We're talking about the void. We're breaking everything down here. We're fucking experts on this channel, okay? All right, dude. And we always talk about how switching stances makes takedowns harder, but Merab did a really good job of compromising the lead leg of Petr. He kind of outstruck him and outgrappled him and mogged him in this first fight. It is what it is. The Yan super glazers will tell you that actually, upon reading the rule book, Yan won that fight. But when I watched that fight, I saw Merab chopping up the lead calf, forcing Yan to stay southpaw. I do think the injury was a factor in that as well, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we saw that, Merab is mainly a boxer, and he was doing well against the calf, but he was also able to land his blitzes, like I said, stepping in with that right hand over the frame, and just capitalizing on the fact that Yan shells up so much. When he's on the back foot, he just shells up and covers everything. We also see Yan duck his head a lot when he shells up. O'Malley landed knees off this, but Merab used it to set up takedowns. He would land up top. Yan does a good job shelling up. His hands are really high. He's not really down blocking like the GOAT JDM. And then Merab would get to those double legs. And I think that when you look at their last couple of fights, Merab has made bigger improvements. He's improved his ability to strike comfortably, especially in the boxing. You really see that he actually does a really good job of using feints, using kicks, switching stances to kind of fuck with people, to set up his takedowns, but also to set up his shots. And you know that the takedown threat is a big factor as well. So I feel like in this fight, Merab is going to do pretty good on the feet. I feel like he's going to land his right hand over the guard of Yan. I can see him landing elbows. I can see him landing uppercuts. I can see him feinting up top. Yan gives a big reaction. Boom, Merab's on the legs, shooting a takedown. And that sets up the striking. Once he has those takedown threats, then he can flick kicks to the body, kicks to the head, which we saw, the calf kicks, which forced Yan to stop his movement and stop his stance switching. There is obviously the elephant in the room, and MMA Joey's not in the room. The elephant in the room is Yan not throwing his right hand in the first fight. He does use it a lot in his other fights to step through and switch stances. It's one of his best weapons. Even the right uppercut he uses really well. We saw it against Figueiredo. We've seen it in a bunch of his other fights against Marcus Maglia as well. His right hand is super, super quick, and he uses it, like I said, to switch stances. I think against Merab, that might actually be a bad thing. I think that stepping through with a blitz squares up your hips, and I can see Merab ducking under those and getting takedowns. right? Because the single leg defense of Petr Yan, it's fucking OP, right? When we look at the grappling of these two, Petr Yan's single leg defense is so fucking good. He defended most of Merab's takedowns very, very effectively. I don't want it to come across like I think Yan is a scrub. Yan is fucking goated. I just think Merab mogs people. I think on the feet, he's going to be, so overwhelming that he's going to land good shots against Yan, make him a little bit more defensive, compromise that lead leg if he gets the chance, land elbows that do damage, big blitzes, start getting that side body lock, punching him against the fence. We'll talk about that in a second too. But when it comes to the takedown defense of Petr Yan, he has great single leg defense. He has the best takedown defense out of him, O'Malley, Corey Sandhagen, all these top 5 guys. I think that Yan has the best takedown defense out of all of them. Right? We see when somebody shoots a single leg, when Merab shoots a single leg on anybody else, he's taking them down. When he shoots a single leg on Petr Yan, he cannot get it. Petr Yan limp legs out really well. He has very good balance, good flexibility. He pushes on the head really well, turns away, leads Merab to chain wrestle and look for that back body lock. But he does get pinned against the fence a lot, right? And Merab has this really good system. I'm calling it the side squish system, where Merab, what he does is he'll fail a takedown, then he'll put you against the fence side on. Like you're kind of squished sideways against the cage, and he's got a body lock, and he has a great system of takedowns from there. He can take you down with like a backside trip. He can pull you forward onto your hands and knees and then look for a front headlock. And he also can just pick you up and dunk you. He can reshoot. He does a really good job of controlling people in that side-on position against the fence. And especially against Petr Yan in their first fight and against O'Malley in their second fight, we see him funnel Petr Yan into that front headlock. Every single scramble that Merab and Yan had, Yan did a good job defending the initial shot. He gets pinned against the cage. He's defending. Then he turns and faces, which is the right thing to do. Merab puts him in a front headlock. Lands knees, lands punches. Doesn't really look for the choke in the first fight. I do think that's a change from Merab back in 2023 to Merab now. When Merab gets Petr Yan into these front headlock positions, again, I saw so many of them rewatching this fight. And even Davison Figueiredo was able to get a takedown and put Petr Yan into this front headlock, kind of cradled him. Merab goes straight for the neck. The first fight, Merab did a good job of getting that position again and again and again over 5 rounds, landing knees, and he can switch back and forth between that front headlock and that side-on position to get takedowns, to reshoot, to stay on Yan, land damage up against the fence, and that front headlock, knees to the head, boom. Right? We've got a rule change now, so those will be more effective, right? He rolls for guillotines. He did that against O'Malley in both of those fights. The first fight, he did it to end up on top. O'Malley did a good job getting back up. And Yan has great get-ups. I don't think this will be a fight where Merab just takes down Petr Yan and lays on him, right? This isn't a Corey Sandhagen. This is a guy that has really good get-ups. He's not throwing up submissions off his back like O'Malley and Sandhagen. He will just immediately push off the hips and try and get back up straight away. And most of the time that works really well. But against Merab, if you wrestle up, boom, he's got your neck, right? And that's a control position. It's not an Islam Makhachev, like as soon as you wrestle up, you're getting dossed. But against an improved Merab that's shown he's more aggressive in terms of looking for a finish, and he's more, I would say calculated with how he wrestles and how he shoots and how he controls people and where he does damage, and so in control of the fight in terms of his, comfortability in the cage. I really feel like Yan will get stuck in that front headlock a lot in this fight. I think that Merab will be fucking emoting on him. I think that he takes down Yan. Yan gets scrambles straight back up. Boom, Merab's got the front headlock. He's looking for a front headlock, a front headlock choke, ninja choke, maybe a guillotine, maybe an anaconda, something like that. I feel like that is where Yan is going to get finished in this fight. I think he'll do a good job on the feet. He's super quick. He's got good body kicks. He's got good body work in general. And Merab does usually high guard. His defense is usually up here. So I think that the really fast body kick of Petr Yan will be a good weapon. I think in close, he'll look for those uppercuts. I think he'll maybe look to switch things up a little bit, land some more elbows and try and cause damage. Because honestly, I don't know. When I look at Merab, I feel like the way to beat him, you kind of have to win by decision. I think you either have to win by decision or win by submission. I think you have to catch him in a scramble, in a choke, and I don't think Petr Yan's the type of guy to do that. So I feel like for Yan here, he has to win by decision. Merab is so tough. I'm pretty sure he's never been KO'd in the UFC, maybe ever in his career. And Jan is not really a finisher. Like people, this is the thing with Petr Yan as well. This is the thing that I've always called out, even though I'm a Jan fan. I'm a Jan sexual. I like Petr Yan, but I'm gonna say it like it is, dude. Every single Jan fight until the losing streak, it was this. Dude, Jan by fucking murder, bro. Yo, Jan by whatever he wants, bro. Yo, Jan literally is gonna do a backflip over this guy's dead body. Then the fight happens and Jan, and it's a split decision and he loses or some shit. Or he wins by decision. And then the goalpost moves to,
well, actually, by the scoring criteria, he beat Aljamain Sterling, bro. And he beat Sean O'Malley, bro. And he got robbed against,
you know what I mean? Like, that is literally what they do. This is what he does. This is what he does. That is the Jan storyline of every fight. And I think in this fight, like I said, I think Jan has to win by decision. I think he has to come in looking for elbows. I think that his single leg defense is really good, but he needs to avoid being squished against the fence. And I just don't know if that's going to happen. I think Merab is so physical and just so high output and has improved his ability to mix things up. He's a lot better on the feet. He's a lot more aggressive, but confident, skillful. He mixes up the grappling a lot more efficiently. He's not shooting 50 takedowns in this fight. I think he'll shoot a lot more smartly and tactically when he needs to, and when he thinks it's a good time to do it against Jan. When he high guards, boom, there's a double leg. Shoots that single leg, makes Jan defend, pushes him back to the cage, boom, you're side on against the fence. Knee to the thigh, boom, takedown. Jan wrestles up, boom, he's on that front headlock. That is where I think this fight ends. I think that we get like a round 3 or 4 submission from Merab, and I think it's via that front headlock. I think it's a guillotine. Maybe a ninja choke like he got O'Malley with, except, you know, front on, obviously. And my reasoning for this is I don't think Jan does the damage necessarily, or has the power or the physicality to hurt Merab on the feet enough to kind of slow down his grappling and win by decision. And I don't think his jiu-jitsu really holds up against someone like Merab. I think his grappling is very good in terms of his takedown defense and his wrestling. He has good offensive wrestling. I don't know how well that's going to work against Merab, right? We saw Umar have some success with that. Maybe Jan mixes in some takedowns of his own, but that's not really his game, right? He is a combination striker that's going to be fighting someone that puts you on the back foot and is constantly making you defend, which is so tiring and just draining, mentally as well. And I think Merab has improved a lot. He's improved as a striker just enough to where he knows exactly what he needs to be doing. And he's improved his grappling and ability to hunt finishes and look for damage. He's hurting people on the feet now. He literally hurt Sandhagen worse than Jan. He literally hurt Sandhagen so bad in their last fight. I'm sorry, dude. I just feel like Jan's going to finish this. Merab's going to finish this guy. And I think that it's going to be like, Jan has a couple of good moments here and there. He lands that body kick. He's whipping up some head kicks. He's throwing some spinning elbows. He's starting out more aggressive. Maybe he wins the first round on striking. His takedown defense will look good, but I think it will be the clinch up against the cage that leads to takedowns from Merab. I think out in the open, Jan will do well, but yeah, once Merab gets you in that side-on position, your options are you give up your back, boom, that's knees to the head, boom, then he's put you in that front headlock, or he takes you down, you wrestle up, boom, there's that front headlock. And I think that in a fight that will probably go into that round 3, 4, and 5, eventually Merab will get enough control over his neck to get a finish. I think it's going to be a Merab submission round 3 or 4 against Petr Yan. That's what I think, dude. Like, I know that he's a massive favorite and it's not a controversial opinion to pick Merab, but I feel like it's also not ridiculous for the people saying, oh, Yan, like close decision, Merab by close, Merab 48-47, because Jan was injured in that first fight, right? Like, that is something that needs to be brought up. You can't just ignore that, even though, it's not like Jan is this one-shot KO artist. He's knocking people out with the right hand. He is not really this insane finisher that people make him out to be. And that's why I don't think he wins this fight. I think that Corey Sandhagen had some sort of like jiu-jitsu threat. Okay, that's something. He's got those head kicks. He's got a big frame advantage over Merab. The reach. O'Malley, he's a one-shot KO artist as well. I know that Jan hurt O'Malley, but I don't think Jan has the type of highlight reel KOs that O'Malley has. Like, O'Malley is like nuking people out cold, bro. I know that he's nuking out bums, but Jan is not even doing that, dude. Like, Jan is mainly winning by decision where he styles on you. and he fucking just melts you and breaks you, and he's fucking ripping you to the body, he's throwing spinning back fists, boom, head kick right at the end. You know what I mean? That's what his game is. I'm trying not to just spam, this is what he does, but this is what he fucking does. And I just don't think that works against Merab. I think to beat Merab, you need a guy that has like insane jiu-jitsu, like someone that's going to lock up a submission straight away, that could potentially catch Merab in like a guillotine or, you know, a DAS or something like that. Just as soon as he shoots a bad takedown, boom, you're on the neck, right? And I'm not talking a Dan Hooker guillotine. I'm talking like a Charles Oliveira type guillotine. Like the second that shit touches your neck, you have to defend, right? That could be interesting. Jan doesn't have that, right? Or a one-shot KO guy that could literally like knock out Merab bad on his feet, follow up, boom, 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 the ref steps in and stops. That's not really Jan. Like, I think Jan has to win by a decision where he styles on Merab on the feet, head kicks, leg kicks, elbows, right? He was doing good with his leg kicks against Merab in the first fight. That could be something for him. But in terms of who I think coming up the division beats Merab, I think Umar has a decent chance to win by decision. I think if that first fight is any closer, Umar wins that, right? Like that is how close it was. And people don't bring that up because Merab emoted on him in round 4 doing this shit and gets, guys, I'm so happy that I win this. Guys, I'm so happy I win this fight, guys. And guys, I want to fight Sean O'Malley next, bro. You know what I mean? But people fucking forget, man. That was a close-ass fight. That's a big, skillful bantamweight with Khabib Nurmagomedov in the corner in terms of your wrestling pedigree, with long, rangy kicks to keep Merab's boxing away. He still got rocked by Merab, dude. So we're getting closer and closer every fight. Oh, man, imagine if it's Jan, bro. I'm going to be really fucking annoying to the, like, super Jan glaze. And listen, I love Petr Yan, okay? I have no problem with the Jan army. But they were very fucking annoying back in the day with the dude, Jan by murder, bro. Yo, Jan by murder, bro. What happens to the Petr Yan fan base if Merab knocks him out? Like, he's the one that gets chinned by Merab. Genuinely, what happens to Lucas Tracy's GOAT list if Petr Yan is the one that gets hit with the, yo, wake up, bro. Yo, wake up, bro. Yo, wake up, man. Yo, Merab caught you with the overhand, bro. You went out, dude. Yeah, you had a seizure from Merab, bro. Merab put you out bad, bro. What happens to Jan's legacy if that happens? I don't know, but I'm going to say, out of respect for Petr Yan, he does not get finished. He may get rocked on the feet. I think he's going to get submitted, though. Like I said, guillotine, ninja choke, round 3, round 4. I think Merab's going to put on a fucking masterclass in this fight. But hey, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. If you agree, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. If you're enjoying the videos, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We've got this 100K plot. Yo, I have a question for you guys. This is kind of a ending segment to the video. What the fuck should I put here, dude? I feel like I need to put something here. So please let me know in the comments what I should put here. I'll get a poster or something. Like, don't get me to get some expensive bullshit, but I'll put something cool here. Let me know what you want in the comments down below. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA, and I will see you guys in the next video, man.